part of the reason I'm making this video to push Capcom to finally update their original trilogy to have those modern quality of life features like in future remasters? No, it's because I need a quick video to make. I'm not that altruistic. So, about that, in another attempt to edge with us out of Ace Attorney 7, Capcom decided, you know what, let's finally update the Phoenix Wright Trilogy actually. And honestly, I couldn't be happier. This version has been dated since 2014. And I know there were graphical updates between the 2014 3DS release and the 2019 console release, but that still doesn't change the fact that they are practically the same, so shut up. I joked that I made the last video to encourage a remaster of this trilogy, but generally I prayed for times like this. And with this, as well as the Turnabout Goodbye's ugly Christmas sweater being re-released last week, I have to say, I think Capcom watches these videos. Capcom, please release Ace Attorney 7, I beg of you. But with this new free update to the trilogy, does it make a significant impact to the quality? And the answer is, mostly? It's complicated. Before anything, I have to preface, I am extremely happy for these updates. The more the merrier to a remaster that had literally nothing besides being able to play the games. But at the same time, it's still lacking in other areas that other remasters simply do better. But let's actually take a look at everything, shall we? Already I'm liking how the UI's incorporated into the new expansion. It fits seamlessly into the style of this remaster well. They also added all the extra features from other remasters, like a music player, art book, and even a scene creator. And I'm never going to be opposed to these types of additions. The music player has all the main game's music as well as the jazz and piano renditions. The art book has all the in-game illustrations and backgrounds as well as additional promotional and character art, even including some new as well as some rather unknown or lost artwork. And the scene creator has all the features from the Apollo Justice one, including all the location backgrounds, animations, and green, black, and blue screens. All of which have some pretty fun, unique little details, with me especially liking the scrapbook look for the art book, the clapboards for the animation studio, and a funny little blue badger fitted up based on each game. Like, look at this little guy. Everything they added in this update is solid. But at the same time, it still feels a bit lacking. The music player, you can't mix and match songs from different games or albums together, nor exclude songs you may not want to listen to in case you still got that very big circus PTSD. The art book, meanwhile, is a bit barren. With the other remasters having an expansive library of concept art and documentation, the trilogy with the most abundant amount of concept art books, bonus content, and documentation, only having 4 or 5 key arts for the main cast, is severely disappointing. Especially since these are the most iconic Ace Attorney characters. People would have loved to see and learn how these legendary characters that transcend even Ace Attorney came to life. But instead, the Phoenix section doesn't even take up the entire page. And good luck if your favorite character is a non-attorney or Faye's sister when April May has more key arts than fucking Gumshoe. And the scene creator is honestly pretty nice, but in comparison to the Apollo Justice one, by nature this version is just a little bit worse. These 2D sprites, animations, and backgrounds have been ripped to death. I have sprites saved on my computer dated all the way back to 2012. By principle, 2D sprites with a couple frames each is way easier to rip than a 60 frames per second 3D animation with constantly moving backgrounds. So it's a lot more appealing to have this animation studio for those difficult to get animations compared to sprites that are easier and have much more freedom to edit in CapCut rather than using the animation studio. Like, why are some animations like most of Red White's unable to be animated away from the witness stand? Once again, I have nothing against including this. If anything, I love having this feature at my disposal. It makes it easy for anyone to find and get a specific animation without getting too technical. It just doesn't have as significant of an impact as the ones for the Apollo Justice remaster. All these sound like nitpicks, and they are. I'm being extremely petty right now. But with the amount of content we've gotten from other remasters, I'd like to see even more. And I'm just incredibly greedy, what the heck. What really draws my attention over these bonus content are the significant amount of quality of life improvements. Mainly, finally, and I mean finally, having a chapter select feature. This alone is my favorite feature of this update, and I know for a lot of others too. It's safe to say that the Wright Trilogy is the collection people revisit the most, and there's a lot of other cases too where people's saves corrupt, or they lost progress, or just want to retry a section. But instead, it becomes a tedious hassle to recover hours of progress to return to a certain point in a game. And as someone who captures all the footage for these videos, oh god, I hated having to record gameplay from this collection. Legit, when I had to record footage of Resi for Turnabout for my latest video, this is what I had to do. Just speedrunning every bit of dialogue trudging through the chapter. If you wonder what takes me so long to make some videos, it's sometimes because I'm just dreading having to record footage for them. All my saves are legit just me placing them in the middle of a chapter to save me some time. But now there are a significant amount of sub-chapters to each Turnabout, which I really do appreciate. So this one addition is the biggest lifesaver, and thank you Capcom for finally adding this feature. But there's a couple other minor improvements. They have an autoplay and story feature, again saves a lot of time clicking when you just want to sit back and read. Or in the case of myself, pressing record and fucking off elsewhere. And I have to shout out them finally adding a Spanish translation. People have been begging for this for years. I don't know why they didn't do this sooner. Something about Nintendo owning the copyright or something, I don't know. But I've seen so many people online overjoyed about this addition, finally being able to play one of their favorite games in their native language. And I think that alone makes an update like this worth it. Oh, and they updated Phoenix's voice to the new one again, just like they did in Apollo Justice. Which I know may and will throw people off, until you realize the reason they probably wanted to update it. Shout out Sam Rigo though, I do really enjoy how he sounds as Phoenix. But after all of these changes, this collection is still severely lacking one particular feature. Where the fuck is the history? This is not just a staple, it's a requirement for visual novels, especially mystery ones like this. And the fact that they still have not included it is insane to me. And I don't know, I guess I want an achievement library, and I don't really like how the autoplay button looks, I guess. And besides all of that, that's really all I have to say about this remaster update. If I were to re-rank the Wright Trilogy, I still think it would rank as the weakest remaster of the bunch. It's just lacking a lot of the content that the rest of the remasters have and then some. Especially not having a chat history, seriously, I'm still baffled by that. But let it be known that this small update makes a significant improvement to the original trilogy. It makes the most iconic Ace Attorney collection feel more full and really loved like the rest of the remasters. It shows a lot more the dedication and care the team, the localizers, the upscalers, etc. put into remastering these classics. Certainly helps show how much more care and effort they put into this than like the Plants vs Zombies remaster. Making these remasters aren't as easy as what people may think. So being able to highlight all of that behind the scenes work more, I do encourage. So once again, I want to preface that I love this update. As much criticism I threw out in however short of a video this is, the fact they decided to make this important update and make it free nonetheless, shows how much Capcom really does care about this franchise. They could have easily made this a paid DLC or the 15th remaster of the Wright Trilogy and milk a little extra money out of it, but they didn't, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Plus it opens the door for future improvements to other collections. May I suggest a great Ace Attorney animation studio, please? And it doesn't mean they can't continue adding more to this collection. I could easily see one day they do bring that chat history finally, or maybe even release the official manga as paid DLC. It certainly would complement the music player we just got really well. And I still have belief Capcom has a bigger plan for the animation studio, I just can't prove it. I don't know what Capcom's plans are for Ace Attorney going forward. Certainly they're running out of things to localize, unless we finally see Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright get ported sometime soon. And certainly to a point they retired Edgeworth to have Phoenix's corny ass be the social media manager again. But if this means I could be a little more delusional about Ace Attorney 7, I'll take it.